Good evening and welcome to another follow-up video for Pure Theory Crafting for Marvel Avengers Alliance 2. Now, just like I did following the culmination of PvP Season 5 for Agent 13, this is a follow-up video testing out and kind of touching on Civil War Black Panther, the things that I couldn't put in that initial video. This will be entered into the lineup of Pure Theory Crafting videos immediately after Civil War Black Panthers himself. And I'm going to see about... I'll put a post on the Reddit linking directly to this video. But the original post is still back there, pretty much still valid. Nothing was really kind of proven, disproven as they came out. I'm going to touch on his character on just a couple things before we start. The biggest bug that we've seen is here. Piercing Dagger. And it's something that was pointed out. It was in the last video, although I didn't remark on it. I looked at the one enemy, and I looked at the way all the other lockout buffs does. This does say all enemies. Thankfully, it does not target all enemies. I like to see balanced heroes. I don't like to see that one game-breaking hero who somebody can dump all their resources into and just win everything. This move is extremely powerful. That is a large damage reduction to melee attacks, and if you could use this against the entire enemy line in a single shot, and it is spammable, it can be used over and over again, then this would ultimately just alter the meta by itself. It would render physical teams more or less obsolete because every team you would run into would have this guy using this ability. As it is now, it's a threat, but not so much of one that you can't still, bring out melee enemies. He has to use it. He has to get multiple turns in order to apply Enfeebled to multiple people. We did confirm that yes, only one lockout status can be applied to a time. That is per target. You can have lockout statuses across different people. They can be different lockout statuses. But on one enemy, and I'll attempt to do this in the video because I'm going to take him into combat. If I put Enfeebled on an enemy, and then I use Lethal Scratch to put Flustered on the enemy, you'll see the two of them overwrite each other, but it's okay. They can still be on other targets. You can just only have one lockout effect on any given enemy at any one time, not one lockout effect, period. And that helps. That's nice. This is actually a build that I consider to be a fully viable combat build for him. You're using 3 sharp attacks, so you're taking advantage of bleeding. This becomes a spammable move at 3-star. If I have more AP, at the moment I just have 500. I would get this up there so that it's 25 stamina. That makes this move a spammable move. Can be used indefinitely. Never has to worry about a recharge unless you want to. Oops, wrong one. Keep in mind that his tactical is pretty good. It is. The Inspired and Strengthened is pretty solid. And of course, Raking Claw takes advantage of the Strengthened when it's on you. Takes advantage of Bleeding when it's on the enemy. These are all things that tack together to kind of just increase the damage of these. And then over on the side, because why not, we have Shield Breaker and Enfeebled, and it's a sharp move, and it kind of just all ties together to all help out. This move doesn't become truly spammable until 4-star, when it drops to 25 stamina, but even until then, it's a reasonable stamina cost, as is this. You'll see I'll be able to use... I should be able to use Rake and Claw without too much of a trouble as his Insight turn fills up. I'm going to take him into combat. I'm going to actually follow up that same mission that you just saw if you joined me for the 1901 Captain America video that I just finished about 20 minutes ago. Maybe half an hour ago, something like that. And we're just going to roll straight in. He's still sitting in the background. He still benefits from some of the stuff for his tasks. But I'm bringing this particular group in for a reason. Moon Knight's going to be tanking. We're going to let Agent 13 kind of function not just as a healer, but she's there because she's going to bring Overwatch. And that will let me test Civil War Black Panther's free attack without necessarily hopping in and changing him out to coordinated. I do have him fully slotted, fully ISO'd. This is a potential setup that I would take him into PvP with. Unlike the 1901 Captain America, he does need the experimental set to reach 100% on pretty much all of his buffs and debuffs. So I went ahead and threw a couple of my best ones in there for him. We did go ahead and give him the the impenetrable and barricading sets that I love so much, but I also went ahead and gave him indomitable. The way these broke down, and the fact that only 2 of them are not 5-star, means that his stats did come up to be pretty balanced. I commented in the 1901 Captain America that his quilt is one of the wildest I've seen. Black Panther actually beats him out by having at least 1 of every crystal. He has 2 health crystals, he has 2 evasion crystals. So we see that his health does break 3,000, even though it starts fairly low. And his evasion does as well. 3,500 accuracy, acceptable. 3,500 speed, acceptable. 3,500 evasion. If there's 3,300 speed and evasion, whatever, these are still good. This is a 2-star character. These are going to go up. Accuracy is going to hit 4,000, and he's gonna boost up to a reasonable attack, reasonable health. His attack stat could be higher, but he's here for the debuffs, and he gets that lovely, lovely attack bonus during his studied strikes turn. I'm going to deliberately try to trigger that during this particular battle that I'll do. I'm going to show off as much of this stuff as I can. So I'm going to try to show his use of his tactical as well as his use of his passive and his insight. And I'm going to try to show off that even though this says all enemies, it still does only target 1 character, which is exactly what I wanted this to be. We'll take a look at the damage reduction from Enfeebled. The first 2 enemies that I go up against here should be scrappers at the start of this fight. Both of them using melee attacks. Hopefully Moon Knight doesn't counter-kill both of them, because that would just be embarrassing. And I'm going to see if I can't notice a drop in damage from Enfeebled. Let's take him into combat. Already we see him cartwheeling in, because, you know what? Spirit of the Panther. I brought Agent 13 specifically for this. I want to see what his free attack looks like, what it does, and whether or not it's going to apply any debuffs. Oh, lovely. There's that defender. He's going to actually counter-kill that first person, I think. He may do it before he gets his kick in there. Yep. Okay. Let's take a look at what options we have here. I'm going to go ahead and use Piercing Dagger, which shouldn't kill this enemy. He's low level, plus he has the class mage there. Look at the damage drop. Single digits on some of those. Alright. His free attack. Nothing to write home about. Keep in mind that I did not focus my ISO's crystals on boosting his attack. Also, he is 2-star, and there's a class disadvantage here. Personal damage, I don't expect to be very high. This is something of a utility infiltrator. So, his actual damage boost will come through other means, I believe. She's just going to basically sit there. Alright. Insight's at 60. Let's go ahead and throw a quick bioamplification. Let's get that positive buffs. Let's also, because I've had to close out the game because I was uploading stuff earlier, let's speed this back up. Alright. Bleeding and flustered. Oh, I killed him. I was going to show off there, if you had the quick eyes, or if you paused the video, you would have seen that Flustered overwrites Enfeebled in its entirety, only be affected by 1 at any given point in time, and that's just kind of the way the lockout abilities work. This time I'm going to see if what I can do involves, you're the only one that would have kind of like a melee type attack. So the goal of what we're trying to show with this is to show that I can put different ones across different people. Okay, we're not for the counter. We saw, for a moment there, we saw that Flustered was up, and Enfeebled is still up over here on the Schützen. You can put a lockout, but just 1 on every target. Let's throw protection back up there so you can do that again. Or never mind. You know, we'll just kill everybody because Moon Knight. All right. Stamina. Stamina is getting, or his insight is getting close, so we're gonna do the stamina bit there. We'll throw up an embracer aspect. Um, what I'm trying to do now is pay attention to when he gets studied strikes. Now the buff is in place here. Attacks gain 50% bonus damage. They're supposed to be able to choose stealthy and protected targets. I kind of wish that I hadn't killed the other two off so that I could use his protected. I have been told, I have read, that there's a bug that during this turn where, because I deliberately did not give him alerted or unstoppable, but I have been told that during this turn, if he targets anything else, it just fails. He loses the attack. As is, we can see the bonus maneuver there. We see that his damage is enough to kill him outright. Again, these are minimally boosted abilities, and I really think that he will do better for most people. I just don't have him all the way leveled up yet. All right, so let's fluster him. Let's not actually do that. Let's see if we can get one of these guys in stealth at about the time that he would. Let's see if we can get one of these guys to enter stealth at the time at which he would go into his... he's still got Overwatch up. See? Yeah, that may have been a mistake on my part. Probably should have done the Overwatch afterwards. There we go. Now that's gone, and he's gonna kill the next person to shoot him. No, he's gonna get another turn first. Excellent. Bioamplification. Yada yada yada. Throw up a shield. Insight is pretty solid. See, he can't target the insight character just yet. And he is going to get the turn first. So I'm hoping, all things said and done, let's hope that when Goon A attacks, that, Minion B let's hope this triggers his extra turn. That looks like a lot of Agent 13 turns up there, and I'm guessing that that's probably a pretty hefty mistake in the way that it's animating it. Alright, so we see studied strikes, and this is the bug. I can't attack a stealthy target, even though I'm supposed to be able to attack a stealthy target because of that. So, keep this in mind if you're going to use him. For right now, at least until this gets fixed, we are looking at... And I wonder if I can bring this up and it'll show it. Yeah, it doesn't show the plus 50%. I didn't think it would. Until this does get fixed, Civil War Black Panther can be equipped with alerted and unstoppable ISOs, and they'll do the same for him that it does for everybody else. So that breaks there. Let's shield because we're still trying to show this guy off. Let's give you a scratch. Going his way through. And the only reason I did that, to put the bleeding on him there, because as soon as one of them gets a turn again, I'm actually going to do the bleed... No, I'm going to do this first. What I want to see is, with that refreshed, and with the bleed on him, there's my bonus turn, and I have enough stamina. You've really got to watch your stamina in order to make sure that your Raking Claw comes up during studied strikes. And this is probably going to be key to mastering this character, especially down the line when these individual bugs do get fixed. There we see a noticeable increase. There was no type advantage there, nor did I have anything like confident or anything up. That was going from 600 to 800 damage on each to breaking 1,000. That was the extra increase from having a physical debuff on them in addition to the physical buff on myself. So here we've shown that yes, Rake and Claw, which was the 3-star ability that was rewarded to everybody who got S rank, so several people have it. That particular move is functioning correctly. And as that is a common high damage move that many people are going to have, it was rather important to know that that move is in particular is not bugged. And we'll bring him up to let him wrap it out. So this is Civil War Black Panther. We can see some of his various aspects in here. He does get decent health. He does get his insight turns. The big bugs for him are that Studied Strikes, which I don't know if it does do the 50% bonus damage. In fact, right now, aside from his insight bonus turn, there's a very good chance that Studied Strikes is not helping us. And the way that I'm going to test that, if I can pull it off here, is before the enemy gets to go. He does have wide open. We're going to take a quick look here, and we're going to see how much damage that this next move actually does. He doesn't have a physical debuff on him. He does have wide open, which should roughly equate in terms of the damage. 40% versus 50%, basically. So I'm going to do another Rake and Claw. Good, solid, big burst of damage there from the wide open as well. That means I really don't know that Studied Strikes has an effect. He gets his bonus insight turns, and he's capable of good, solid damage, but I'm not entirely certain that his passive functions. We also know that his little dagger toss only applies enfeebled to a single target. Now, I would like to hear back from people as to whether or not they found other big bugs for him, because those are the only two that I know of, which actually makes him less buggy than characters like the 1901 Captain America. In fact, I think she may still have as many bugs, if not more. But those are two still very big bugs. Still, we've kind of got an idea of how he looks in combat. We've seen that he's a very balanced character with a very spread out quilt for his ISOs. For now, oh, it's gonna do that little lockdown and crash thing. All right, I'll close this after I end the video. We've looked at his ISO slots. We've seen that he does represent at least one of every color, two each of two different ones, and I consider him somewhat impressive. The real determination as to how good this character is going to be is how useful those unique debuffs are in PvP. I've seen people have him at 3-star, people who have him at 4-star. I expect to see him pop up a lot this PvP season. And it could be that he becomes a very true threat and a very active part of the current meta. Especially with Rocket being essentially removed from that same meta. I don't know. We'll have to see. It's still pretty early yet. People are still building up. People are still learning. And I'm looking forward to finding out. This was just a quick video just to kind of touch base on him. Kind of see what we could see, what we couldn't find before. Give me your feedback on this if you'd like. I'm going to attach it right behind his actual Pure Theory crafting video. As I pointed out in the 1901 Captain America video, without Deathlock being on the list, it's time to roll back to the characters currently going. Scroll your way through the Reddit, take a look at maybe my personal uploads over on the Reddit, and give me submissions or requests over on the Pure Theory Crafting lineup post. And we'll see what characters we'll be doing videos for next. Even I don't really know which one's popping up soon. Until that time, for those celebrating the 4th, have a happy 4th. For those who don't, have a good weekend. This is iHoagland. Once again, I'm out.